Good morning. It's Amy Bennett with the AM Show. So glad that you are here. It is Thursday, which means one day closer to Friday. Oh no, the wind was picking up. I didn't put my chimes down. Anyway, hope you were doing well. Let's see, last night, I can't even think about last night. Today, today is exciting because I get to go later for a massage. That was my Mother's Day present, and I'm actually, last time I had a massage for Mother's Day, it took me like a year to actually, over a year probably, to go use my gift certificate, but there was a cancellation. I happened to be over at the place getting some supplements and thought, I was like, oh, I should schedule my massage, and they just happened to have a cancellation, and so I grabbed that. So very excited for that. Also tonight, Emma has to go to a CPR class for her babysitting job this summer, so I'm going to go, it's up in Charlotte, so I'm going to go with her to that. Also, another not fun thing, but maybe fun thing, my doctor finally is calling me back with some lab results. So that will be if I need to take some more supplements, and it's the food allergy test to see if I need to keep out any more foods from my diet. Right now I'm not doing gluten or sugar, mostly. I went and got Frosties for 2 of the kids last night, and I had a couple bites of that. So I sneak bites here and there. Anyway, good morning, Darian. Good morning, Marie. Marie says it's her Friday and she's going home tomorrow. So she's from Maryland. She's gonna go. So that's really fun. I'll miss you guys though this weekend at church. Michelle joined. Good morning, guys. Yay. Okay, so this morning, I was able to, as you guys know, I'm reading through the Bible, so that's probably this summer what you're going to hear about. And this morning I got through all of my reading and basically reread Joseph's story. And Joseph's story is my absolute favorite out of like the whole entire Bible. I sometimes just go back and read his story. Oh, it's so good. It's like all the good drama, and it's just like Joseph was just, I don't know, I just love Joseph and his character, and anyway, I just love it. But there is a part of it that I read that I had it already. Oh gosh, hey Michelle. Michelle is in Australia, so good morning. No, it's probably not good morning for you. It's probably good evening for you. Glad to have you here on live. What was I saying? Oh yes, so I was reading the story of Joseph, and there was a part that was underlined, and it gets me every single time that I read it, and it just hit me again this morning. And this is when, so Joseph, of course, was nearly murdered by his brothers, sold into slavery into Egypt. He gets thrown into jail by Potiphar's wife. He's lied about, he's trying to be an upstanding man. He gets thrown in jail. Makes me so mad. And then he's sitting there and he interprets a dream for somebody and says, don't forget me. And then he gets forgotten for like 2 years, and he finally gets remembered, and they're gonna interpret a dream for Pharaoh, and he gets brought up. And I don't know, at this point, you know, he's almost been killed by his family. He's been in jail and betrayed by Potiphar's wife and lied about, and he's been sitting there, and then he's been forgotten. And at this point, I would just think that he has lost all hope in God, all hope in living his best life, if you will. I just imagine that his faith would just be like gone. But they bring him up, they clean him up. It says they get him new clothes, they shave him, and he gets cleaned up for Pharaoh. And Pharaoh asks, can you interpret this dream for me? And his first words from jail that is recorded, it says, I cannot. I cannot. And just on its own, you know, that probably, you know, I don't know. I just think I would want to be like scheming at that point to get myself out of jail. Like, yes, I can help you. But he says, no, I cannot. And then he says, but God will. I cannot, but God will. And that to me, and so that shows his heart posture. I can't, but God will. God will. And the faith that he has in that moment just astounds me. It just astounds me that his family betrayed him, people around him betrayed him, forgotten him. He has every reason not to trust God, and yet he trusts God in that moment. I cannot, but God will. And he does not trust himself, but he trusts God. And there's been so many times that I have had to be in that posture. I cannot, but God will. Where, you know, we're asked to do something, and this is what I'm thinking, and this is what I'm thinking about it, that I've been in a situation where I just feel like God is calling me to something, and I feel like I cannot. There's a lot of times I cannot, whether it's my podcast, or whether it's doing this morning video. I don't know if you guys know, but it took me an entire year to get up the courage to even do this one time last year. Whether it is a new project at work, a new position that I have to do, a new team that I have to work with, all of these things where I just, in myself, like I cannot. But I have learned, I cannot, but God will. I cannot, but God will. And the truth is, like, we would like to say, oh, I have faith in myself, I can figure this out, everybody else has, you know, abandoned me. And the truth is, we cannot. We cannot on our own, and it's okay to admit that. Like, I can't do it. But to have the faith that Joseph had to say, but God will. And that's definitely something that I have learned. Like, I don't know what to say. I don't know who to talk to. I don't know what to do. I have no idea how to do this job. I do not know how to parent this child. I don't know how to do a podcast. I don't know what to say on a morning video. Like, I cannot. I don't know. But God will. But God will, because God gives us in the moment wisdom, and he gives us direction, and he points us to the right people, and gives us the right thing to say, and gives us the right direction, and in the moment gives us just supernatural direction and wisdom. And that is exactly what Joseph was given, is that he was given this dream, and then he knew that God was going to give him the words to say. He says, I cannot, but God will. And I have learned that. That's sometimes not my automatic response, but I'm just so encouraged by Joseph. He had every right not to have that much faith. Every right not to have that much faith, where he had been, like I said, people had let him down. And I would think even he felt like maybe God had let him down. You know, God gave him a dream that everybody would bow down to him, and then he is stuck in jail. Like, you would say, God, where are you? Like, that's not, you know, you must have abandoned me. He had every right to even feel abandoned by God in that moment. And yet the faith that he had to say, I cannot, but God will. God will. Like, he just had the faith that, and it hadn't even happened yet, that he just knew that God would be there for him. And I don't know, I'm just so blown away by his faith in that moment. And my prayer in all of this, and yes, I can say I've done enough you know, to say that is the truth. I cannot, but God will. But my prayer is that I continue to do that. No matter if people betray me, if I feel like God has abandoned me, if I'm wrongly accused, whatever, that I would still have the faith in the future to say, I cannot, but God will. And just to trust him for that. And, you know, I can just imagine, I cannot, but God will. I cannot, but God will. That is just sticking with me so deeply this morning. And I'm just challenged by Joseph's faith. And yeah, so that's what I hope our prayer is today, is to recognize that it's not us. We don't have to work up our own strength, our own wisdom, our own whatever, for whatever God is calling us to do. We don't have to work that up. Like, God's gonna do it. And we can admit, I can't do this. But have the faith to say, but God will. But God will. I cannot do this, but God will. And that, I think, is a wonderful stance in prayer that we can have ongoing. And I just pray that that's mine, and I hope you can pray that that's yours, just initial response to everything that seems too big for us. I cannot, but God will. And I can just think of all the different scenarios, like whether it's a health, a health diagnosis that comes along, whether it's, at a time when you've been wrongly accused, if it's, a job you feel like God is calling you to, that you feel like you can do it, like something that you're supposed to start, a conversation you're supposed to have with somebody, you can just say, I cannot, but God will. And just trust that He will provide for you in that moment and as you walk through that, because He is so faithful. It is amazing to me, even as we read the rest of Joseph's story, how because of that moment, he was put in charge of all of Egypt. He was able to rescue his family, rescue all of the area actually from the famine. He, as he says, it was all God's plan to rescue, really, if you think about his family, and I talked about this yesterday, Judah is from, that's the tribe that Jesus was from, and so he's really responsible for rescuing all of us. If you think about it, he's really responsible for rescuing all of us because of our Savior, and it's crazy. So he, in the end, had such a pivotal role in God's story, and it's just, I don't know, I just love it so much. Okay, it's really windy out here today. Sorry, guys. Okay, so I think I've repeated myself enough, so I will stop. I just feel it so strongly. You cannot, but God will. I'm pointing now. I shouldn't point at you. That's not good. All right, guys, I saw a couple more people join, so I wanted to say good morning. Stephanie, Rhonda, Jen, Sherry, Jessica. Goodness, good morning, guys. I'm so glad that you guys were all able to join. I hope you guys are going to have a wonderful Thursday. We are almost to our weekend. I feel like bugs are out here. Sorry. Okay, well, I think I'm going to let you guys go. Have a wonderful day. I'm going to go. Oh, Kimberly joined too. Kim. I'm going to enjoy my massage today. And hopefully enjoy the CPR class tonight. What we do for our kids. Oh my goodness. Okay, guys, I'm going to hop off here, go get started with my day. So you guys have a wonderful day, and we'll see you back tomorrow. Bye.